What up? This is Ball and Buckets. I am do-rag Dubb, no do-rag, no haircut. That is,
FCC sitting in for the two usual niggas
we
who are
both got the
absent.
we got the red cups going.
Got the red cup. It's almost officially the weekend, or technically it is officially the weekend.
Bro, with my work schedule, every day is the weekend. I don't know how in life we're going back to anything that looked like normalcy after this.
Yeah, I can't do it. Can't do it.
Because my life is consumed with NBA bubble right now. We got some soccer, some Champions League soccer going. I don't fuck with the MLB. I know that's your sport.
Yeah, I like the MLB, but they suffering from the Rona right now. So I imagine in a couple of weeks they'll probably be on a pause.
You think it's over? I mean, the Cardinals. The only thing I saw was the Cardinals had to basically. Did they forfeit the game? I mean, they had 8 people test positive.
I think they ended up having to forfeit, but I think you're gonna start seeing that more and more. And because they so reluctant to, lose out on that money, they're gonna probably try to do a pause and wait a couple months or something like that, and that might work out for them. But I think the season is pretty much done for.
Baseball doing what, a 60-game season?
Yeah, they're doing a condensed season.
So 60 games in 2.5 months anyway. They can't afford a pause.
They really can't. But I mean, if you keep getting, you have your numbers are. When you see those big numbers like that, they're usually half players, half staff. So not only are the players messed up, but you got the staff. Because like Miami, their numbers were up to like 13, 14 people, and it was almost like exactly half, 7 players, 6 or 7 like of the staff, the training staff and stuff like that. So,
So the only situation that's working is these bubbles, because soccer's doing bubble, hockey's doing bubble, NBA's doing bubble. Because football, they definitely not trying to give it up, but you've already had people like Matthew Stafford, a couple coaches got COVID. I mean, that's just the people that came out. A lot of people ain't even really going to say it because there's no medicine. You just got to wait it out.
Right. And Stafford is like the biggest name right now, right?
Football.
Who's come forward, yeah.
Yeah. The coach, the Philly coach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody else, Cam Newton out here with wild outfits on, looking like Big Mama.
Cam too big to catch the damn coronavirus. But out there looking like a giant.
Bruh, what, 6'5", 250?
Something like that. Yeah, he's a big boy. And the thing about him that impresses me, and I was always wrong about Cam, because I always said Cam wasn't going to be as good. I didn't think he was going to transition coming from college into the NFL, but he transitioned very well. And then, you had the great season, the one like really great season. And then, I don't know what they showed him, backstage during the Super Bowl, but it was like he failed the Illuminati initiation or something. It was like he completely like just fell off the cliff. But
I like Cam even at Auburn because as much as they ran the little design runs, he was in the pocket. He was always in the pocket. So you can say what you want. He's never had an elite receiver.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, Steve Smith, he was past his prime when he had him, but yeah.
Right, you had old Steve Smith who only run 9s. And then you got Christian McCaffrey out the backfield, and you had the tight end. Whatever tight end.
I don't even remember his name.
Greg Olsen. Greg
Olsen. But I mean, he don't have no weapons up there in New England right now, right? Who's he got up there?
He got Edelman. he got Mohamed Sanu.
That's right. Sanu is up there.
Who was a good number 2.
That's who he was running with today, I guess. They showed him practicing with him today, whatever else.
Right. And Mohamed Sanu is 6'2", 6'3", and he made him look like a child.
Yes. But that's one thing I can say about Cam is he's taking very good care of himself. Because, I mean, he's been in the league now, a decade? A little over a decade?
I think Cam was 2009.
Yeah. Sound about right. So, yeah. It's about 11 years.
Give him stat check over here.
Yeah. This is where we need Beautiful Mind, because he would have knew that right off the top.
He probably would have. He'd been like, "Oh, he was the number one pick in the 2008 draft. He was, whatever. Actually, 2011.
So he coming up on a decade.
But yeah, I'm happy he landed there. I would have preferred he went to Pittsburgh because it'd have been more of a similar system.
That's true. I'd have preferred him to go to Tampa Bay myself, but that's selfish of me.
Well, your quarterback is saying that he's having a hard time learning the playbook and getting the terminology right.
So that's how you can tell like the media hype. So he says that while the rest of the media is like, "Oh, Tom Brady has been
looking
wowing everyone. He's looking great." And he come out like, "Man, I don't really understand this shit that they running." I might have to call Jameis, but yeah.
I think is that a way for him to lower the expectations too? Because at this point, who else kind of went to a team like this? I mean, you gotta go back to like a Joe Montana going to the Chiefs, but it was instantly we're a contender.
Right.
Who has had that effect?
I don't know if anybody's had that effect. I mean, even when looking at his situation when Favre left and went to I don't even think it was that type of situation in either. I don't think anyone has been able to completely turn a team who would have been going into a rebuild phase, turn it around into an expectation of being a playoff contender. So,
I can only think of it in like basketball, a LeBron effect.
Right.
And it's almost a reverse LeBron. Like when LeBron leaves, they're terrible. Speaking of,
yeah, there you go.
How
that segue?
You're a tried and true Laker fan.
Yes.
Before this season, I gave you so much shit because I'm a low key LeBron guy. Like I pull for LeBron maybe because he's a social justice guy. He's a stand up dude, and let's face it, he on the Mount Rushmore. He's slowly approaching. And he's not even slowly anymore. He's approaching top 3 status, like no matter what. You get the number 1 seed. Instantly. Oh, my groin's hurting. I don't know about these offensive sets that they got us running right now.
Right.
What's your take, man?
Man, I think it's
y'all still a plus 200 in the bets.
Right. Which is low though. Which is low if you think about it. That means we're not the favorite to win the Western Conference. Which that's obvious. We all know who the favorite is for that, Clippers. But
they want to see if Lou Will worked off his chicken wing before they give him before they move y'all up.
He gonna be balling. He could have sat out for another week or two, and he still was gonna come in balling. But I think LeBron loves to play these. He loves to play these games, right? With the whole, like you said, very obvious. You've been playing super hard. You've been doing all these posts every day up until the bubble opening, up until the season coming back, and you've been, pumping your chest and everything else. And as soon as you clinch, the number 1 seed, you take your foot off the gas.
Right.
And that's reminiscent of what we've seen with LeBron throughout his entire career. He seems to take his foot off the gas at the wrong points in time. And to be honest with you, from what I've seen with him in the bubble, his shooting is a detriment to the team.
Ooh, but you know what? I think I put it in a couple of group chats. There haven't been a lot of lights out shooters in the bubble.
Right.
At least those first 2-3 games. Like people, like Giannis' first dominant game was today. Versus Miami, who is probably the perfect storm for him to play, especially with Bam. Bam had his 5th foul early in the 4th quarter, so you can't throw Bam on him. So it's a feast once he go out the game.
Right.
But Giannis has been low key terrible. Jason Tatum
really has been
3 for 18 one game, and then he bounced back. These guys, the guys that are lighting it up. The T.J. Warrens, the Gary Trent Jr. Even Lillard. Lillard was
Right.
having
He
subpar until today.
I was gonna mention that. Yeah, today was his best. He dropped 41 today? 41 and 11, 41, 11 and 10 or something like that.
He had 11 threes.
That's crazy.
So he had like 41 and 12, I think.
41 and 12. Okay, I was gonna say he ain't triple double today.
Nah, I don't think he got no boards. But
I got you.
And then the other one's Harden. Harden going crazy right now because Russ ain't out there and LeBron ain't out there, but the shot hasn't really been there for these guys.
So why do you think that is, right? Because we know most of these guys got, at least half court, full court at the house, right? And they didn't spend months at the house. And was it just like, man, I'm just bored. I'm just tired of being here, so I'm not going to get up and do no workouts today or whatever else. Like, what is it? Because, we've seen no defense for the most part because we've seen some high-scoring ass games. Fresh legs.
That was that first game. The first game for everybody was just lighting that bitch up. Like Dallas, Houston was the 300-point game.
Yeah.
But ever since then, it's kind of came back to life. Milwaukee might have hit $130 today, but before that, they were winning on 110, 108 games. I think you can't blame it on the floor because every team shipped their floors.
Right.
But it's the platform, though. These guys aren't used to the benches being so far off, and I think it might throw off your depth perception.
Mm.
They say it's a great place to play, but these dudes are creatures of habits. If they used to, the coach being 2 steps off the court, and then okay, that's my spot when I get there. Now you're looking for it in a different way. That's the only excuse I'm gonna give you.
That's what I don't understand. Like, like you said, after those first games or whatever, I'm like, no, we might see a 400-point game here, in the second, the way these cats is playing.
Straight all-star game.
Right. They running the floor. They're not playing no real defense. Putting up a bunch of shots, a lot of rebounds. But yeah.
The Houston Bucks game, what everybody say, defense won that game. Harden had 3 stops down the road on Giannis, which everybody was amazed at, but it's a perfect kind of matchup. Like, he's underneath Giannis already, so you can't put it down. He gonna get you. He can body you up. It ain't like Giannis is 250.
Right.
He might be 215, 230 or something.
Yeah, probably more like 215, 220, but yeah. And Giannis, his game, when is his game going to evolve, right? When is he going to get the short range,
Because he getting the walk-up 3 a little bit now.
Right.
I think that's what he added this year. You got to figure, dude, only 22?
Right. So, but as his coach, I would have preferred him to have a 20-footer before a walk-up 3. I think that's going to be more beneficial to him.
It's the Houston theory. It's 3s or layups. You got to think, who's their third leading scorers? Brook Lopez shooting 3.
Really? Wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
I think so.
That would make sense though.
It's Giannis, Middleton, Brook. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Unless Eric Bledsoe snuck up on him.
No, I don't think consistently. He's very inconsistent.
Well, Mr. Inconsistent got us.
He did.
He 3rd. Brook is 4th.
By how many points though? By probably like a game's worth of points.
Nah.
A quarter.
Bledsoe at 15 and Lopez at 11. So it's a hefty difference.
I got you.
The crazy thing is these games count for the regular season stats, which, in our mind, it don't really seem like it.
Right.
With that layoff. Okay, creature habit. What's wrong with the shooting? These guys aren't used to playing in August. This is usually when their body shut down.
Right.
So maybe that clock is off.
I guess that's reasonable. I don't know. I was gonna say maybe it's just maybe it's the process, right? Maybe it's just the environment itself with everything that goes along with the bubble. Because I mean, they have some documentaries, right, or some behind the scene footage, but have we really gotten a chance to see what the day to day is in the bubble? Like, the wake up, breakfast, whether you get tested or you go work out. Like, I mean, how does that work? How are they making sure that everybody is? Because I know there's regular tests. So,
Right.
how is that working? And then maybe that's part of the problem.
And like you say, it's that routine. Even with us, our routine is, all right, we're gonna go out on this Friday. We're gonna drink heavy on this Tuesday, but and we're gonna recover. They don't have the release. I guess that's why somebody was talking about Harden requested a strip club on premises.
I wouldn't doubt it. But I mean, so that kind of brings me to the point, though, of LeBron's comments about there's issues off the court that he didn't want to talk about. I guess the comment that he made to some journalist or some reporter or whatever else. So, is that an issue because these guys are just not used to doing their regular thing?
Who knows? Somebody like LeBron, his release might be being with his kid.
Right.
So but, I don't know. I mean,
who has their family there and who doesn't have their family there?
Nobody has their family there.
Nobody has. Okay.
No family is allowed. Like they literally had to leave the families, right?
Right. And maybe that's part of what he's referring to. So that was like really kind of weird to me. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like he likes to play these media games, right? Like, why would you make a comment like that knowing that's going to stir all kind of controversy?
Right. Everybody going to run off with it.
Right. Because you look at the people that he had on the squad, right? You got your Dwight Howard, you got your J.R. Smith, you got your JaVale McGee. I mean, these are not people who are known to be, responsible at all times or whatever else. So
is that your pecking order? I think you forgot somebody.
I did. I forgot a couple people, but I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you got KCP and
you forgot Mr. Anxiety on the plane.
Oh yeah,
Deion Waiters, baby.
Deion Waiters. Another LeBron tag along. His usual baggage, his usual luggage. Him and JR.
That might come in handy for them. They need people that can create their own shot. Because let's face it, LeBron's best creation is pick and roll AD, and then he just kind of do his little half triangle ISO, where he just looking over his shoulder the whole time and skip passing.
Yeah. Man, it's
Harden about to triple-double, y'all. He got 32, 10, and 8 going into the 4th.
And that's what I mean by like taking your foot off the gas. Like, had that have been prior to the clinching of the number 1 seed, that wouldn't happen. But it's too much relaxing and like, okay, well, we good, we're in a good spot, or like, I don't know, is it a strategy? Like, there's a particular 8th seed you hoping for, or whatever else? Because you might mess around and get the wrong 8th seed.
The worst seed is Portland,
right?
Because at this point, I still don't understand the whole play-in if all of those teams are within 4 games. I mean, that's what it's. They're all within damn near 2 games of each other. Down to the Pelicans. It's a 2.5 game split from Memphis, Portland, Phoenix, San Antonio, Sacramento, Pelicans. Literally all the teams that are there from the West.
That's crazy.
Now, Portland just moved within half a game of Memphis because Memphis is 0-4, I think.
Okay.
And Memphis has played a tough schedule. So they
have that tough schedule.
They getting shitted on right now. But even with you're already number 1. At this point, you might catch Utah in the 2nd round. Utah or OKC. They should be winnable series, right?
They should be, but I mean, that's just kind of like how the Athletic or whoever it was, that article that journalist was talking about, how CP3 dominating the bubble. on the court, off the court. Because he was so instrumental in a bunch of the, setting things up. Who's gonna be the barber? How are things gonna be for the players in the bubble and stuff like that. And
I mean,
he's
but
had a
he's like
couple.
the Players Association.
Right,
Right.
right. Which is the reason why. But it's just that thing though. It's like it's almost like that's giving him some kind of life where he like, this is my shit. So it's translated to on the court to where he's been. He hasn't looked this good on the court in a while.
I don't read too much into that because that team wouldn't be in the playoffs without him.
Exactly.
They're literally the 5th seed. It ain't like they're the bubble team.
Right.
So I think he's just actually getting on TV this year, and you can actually see like he's a great point guard. I mean, as much as people hate his antics or his kind of character or whatever, like he's a top 10 point guard of all time.
So let me ask you this question. Has CP finally found him a young team that will not get upset and mad at his style of of play, of being a point guard?
What you got
for now?
Name 3 people on OKC.
I couldn't. You got me.
That's the thing. Like they don't have any other alphas, known alphas. Like the closest they got is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who's up and coming. But other than that, I mean, their roster is slim bones. They still got Steven Adams. They got Terrence Ferguson, who was a journeyman. They finally got no jumper Roberson back, hitting corner threes now.
Right.
Dennis Schroeder. Like they don't have any household names.
Oh, I forgot Schroeder was still over there. He came over in which trade did he come over in? Was that the KD trade originally, or no? Actually, he ain't been in the league that long. What
he was from Atlanta. Who went to Atlanta? Was it a 3-team deal?
It was a 3-team deal, but I don't remember when it took place.
Me either. That's a beautiful mind question. Schroeder, 6 years in the league.
And he's another one who I kind of had some highs. I kind of felt like he would be another Oladipo, where he would kind of like really grow. He kind of has went nowhere.
I think he's a good role guy. Like, he's not going to lead the team. He's Reggie Jackson. Right?
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
He moved over there in the Melo trade.
Melo trade, okay. That's somebody else who feeling it right now.
Skinny Melo?
Yeah, Mr. Fuck out of here, I got it. That's a perfect t-shirt.
FOH.
Yeah.
Wait, we ain't done with your Lakers, man. Are you still confident you can at least make it to the Western Conference Finals?
Yes.
Because low key, the Clippers haven't been that great either.
They haven't been, no.
They missing Lou and Montrez.
Right.
So until they get them back, they not a full team. But other than them, I mean, Denver kind of scares you with Michael Porter Jr. finding his stroke, but then they still got 2 or 3 people hurt. That's the only reason why he's playing. OKC, Chris Paul not gonna carry nobody for 7 games.
Not for 7 games. He's not gonna stay healthy for 7 games. But, but I mean, the Suns are kind of, I mean, that they are a perfect, storyline team. You know how you always got those storylines in the NBA Finals and the playoffs or whatever else. They are the perfect storyline team. They got somebody who they can build that around in Booker or whatever else. And that might, excite him or elevate his play or something like that. And they could potentially be a little scary. My issue with my Lakers is that I don't trust the second team. To be honest with you, I don't trust anybody outside of AD right now. AD is really, he really is the offense. He's a team. So hopefully nothing crazy happen. He don't get no hangnails. He don't get poked in the eye, nothing stupid, and he good because he's the only one who I can consistently count on.
Who is more likely to get hurt, AD or Chris Paul?
I don't know. That's kind of hard because both of them are kind of injury prone. But I'm gonna say Chris Paul. I'm gonna say in a 7-game series, Chris Paul is gonna be hurt by game 3. AD will probably be hurt by game 5.
Because a key injury in the East, Ben Simmons going down yesterday.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That pretty much made it a 3-team race to me in the East of Boston, Milwaukee, and Miami.
Miami, yeah.
Even though watching that Miami game today showed me that they're not ready to go over the hump.
So you think Rap's gonna get that spot?
Yeah. I mean, the Raptors play so sound of ball, like it's ridiculous. They're literally the East Coast Spurs.
Are they the best coach team in the NBA right now? Do you agree with that statement? Because when you think about it, because you just made that great comparison, right? They're the East Coast Spurs, or Eastern Conference Spurs. So
they have the best system. So yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say Boston's coach is better, but they have the best system because Boston's system, you just never know. They got too many pieces. Like they really need to just move one of those dudes off, Gordon Hayward or Kemba, and just let it be Jalen and Tatum's team.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, but having a system that's tailored like that is, that's a part of coaching though. So I would definitely, when I read that assessment, like I guess it was like a couple of days ago or earlier this week, I'm like, I can agree with that. I might not agree with that in the past, but I got to give it to them. They are a pretty well coached team.
Man, the pieces that they had, the Fred Van Vliet, which is the hardest name to say. Fred, Fat Lowry.
Fat Lowry.
I hope it go viral calling him Fat Lowry.
Fat Lowry.
And Pascal, like 3 dudes who just get it. And then the sleeper on that team is OG One Kenobi. I know Okanubi or whatever his name is.
Okay, yeah, Okanubi, something like that.
Like he's the guy on that team that plugs a lot of holes. Defensively, he's guarding your 2 guard, your wing.
Right.
But at the same time, he's gonna give you 12 to 15 a game.
He's gonna get some buckets. He's gonna put some buckets up.
So yeah, I would agree on your best coach statement.
What I'm looking at right now with the Laker game, I'm looking at an offensive foul turnover on Dwight Howard, obviously. JR missing a pull-up jump shot. But what's really the key that I think the weakness is that bench. Like the number of points that the bench is putting out per game is just trash, man. Like they gotta do better when it comes to Western Conference Finals, NBA Finals. Like you're not gonna win a championship doing it. And then it's gonna be the same old how LeBron needs so much help. But come on, man, you got Anthony Davis. If anybody needs help, it's Anthony Davis who needs the help. Waiters misses a 28-footer. It's like, what is these dudes doing, man?
Let's go. Here we are. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's froze up though.
Oh, dang. It looked good over here, so it don't matter. It's like they got the game close, 7 points.
Yeah, they were actually within 5 a few minutes ago.
You just let PJ Tucker get his own board. You know what's crazy about Houston is they don't have Eric Gordon.
Right.
They don't have Eric Gordon. Daniel House is, man, he's Boobie Gibson. Like you don't know what you're gonna get from him.
Right. He got 14 tonight.
That's what I'm saying. He give you 14, might give you 24. He gonna give you 3.
30% from 3. Yeah.
JR rocking the number 21 jersey.
Good old AR, man. Like I don't understand like how were we that hard up for AR? I mean, I get it. We need some backcourt help, but that wasn't a move in my opinion. It's just that's like I said, that's more LeBron baggage, man. Like Waiter snuck in there.
I like the little sneaky double team they running at Harden. Like, don't let him get comfortable. But at some point, you got to pull off that too. Like, just let JR try to guard him up. He holding the hell out of him right now.
JR with the badass pass.
You ahead of me. You know who's been trash? He just hit that 3. Robert Covington.
Yeah.
Bro, I was watching, I think that was the Dallas game the other day. Man, he missed so many shots in a row. It was ridiculous. Bro, they gotta go back. Okay, that's where you at. He just gave it to Harden. Bro, they shot 50. That's 51 3-pointers.
51?
That's number 51. Harden going to the timeout. 51 threes. The other day they shot 61, which was tied the NBA record.
So, I mean, you got people who are treating the bubble like the Drew League, essentially. And ironically, that's the best I've ever seen Harden play. I will always hold on to that. I've never seen Harden during regular season play as hard and as consistent as I've seen him play in Drew League.
That's true. We just gave people a quick preview. Hope TNT don't sue me.
It was froze up over here, so it might have just been a screenshot.
Nah, on this one, it was clear as day.
You missed out on, or you missed the 30 second mark, 20-second mark. We do not own the rights to that footage.
Oh, you got to say it.
I don't know. That's what other people be saying.
I ain't even signed in yet. It still got me on a 6-minute preview. It gave you 10 minutes to preview it.
Yeah.
Make
you sign in.
It should. Most of the stuff just sign right in since you be on the Wi-Fi.
Right. It's supposed to pick it up.
Nope. Not this.
Yeah, mine ain't gonna pick. I don't know. Maybe mine will pick it up. Nah, because I'm on this charter internet.
I don't ever be knowing my passwords, bro.
Neither do I. That's why I have a password keeper.
You got Keepsake?
What is it? LastPass.
What you think about the Ben Simmons going down?
Man, I think that's gonna really hurt Philly, man, because it looked like he really starting to get that shooting together. And I've always said Ben Simmons was pretty overrated, but I think he was really getting it together, man. I think they were gonna really do something going into this. I mean, they had a legit shot. They were top 3 in the East, but now I don't see it. I don't see how it's possible.
Does it leave it to just basically a Bucks Raptors? Because I mean, as much as I like the Celtics, I don't know if they can beat either one of those.
I think they could. I don't know. I think they might be able to catch the Bucks in a long series. That's my thing about the Bucks, right? Is that they don't seem to be able to. I don't feel like they do well in 5-game, 7-game series.
I look at the Bucks the way I look at Houston. Like, I don't know if I can trust a team that shoots 30, 40, 50 3-pointers a game.
That's true.
Now, the only kind of wild card with the Bucks is Giannis or Bledsoe going to the cup. Like, nobody else puts the ball on the ground. Or DiVincenzo, the little dude from Nova, like he might, mix it up a little bit. But in the grand scheme of things, it just don't feel like they're like Houston to me.
51 3. That's crazy, bro.
Dog. I was in there watching that shit when they took 61. And I'm just counting like, is this an over under? Like, do you really have to bet how many threes they shoot a game?
You can the way they shoot them right now. That's crazy.
Damn, I don't even know my password.
Man, it took me forever because it's like it's trying to do that auto authenticate, and it sees that I'm not actually on the AT&T network, so it's failing. I had to like do it like 5 times to get the game to show up. They running away with it now. 105-89.
Yeah, it was 102 after that big three. I mean, that was pretty much the dagger.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I just don't. There's going to be another thing that I think you can tack on to LeBron's legacy is the letting his foot off the gas when he shouldn't.
Real quick, let's end with that. So LeBron has the chance to hit 40,000 points. He'll definitely hit the 10 and 10 on rebounds and assists. Does that automatically put him as the greatest player of all time?
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess if you're looking at that as just pure stats, I guess you can say that because I mean, who else is putting up them stats like that? But I mean, we can't really say the greatest player is just based on stats. That's just my opinion. But I mean, I agree that he's definitely earned his spot on the Mount Rushmore. But my personal opinion, it's obvious that he could be in the top 3, but he ain't 1 or 2.
So he can be Drake, but he can't be Jay-Z.
But that's essentially who Bron is, though. Bron is the Drake of the NBA when you think about it. But I mean, don't get me wrong.
Tell me about it, West Coast.
I don't always agree with Glasses because sometimes Glasses, shout out to Glasses Malone, man, but sometimes he has some really, kind of extreme views on some things, and I feel like he be trying to be, contrary just to be contrary. But that's one thing I can kind of agree with him on as far as he don't really stand for nothing. So this is what we need Flacco for because he disagreed. He felt like, Drake is very hip hop. And
he feel like Drake is Canada.
Right. He's Canada. He represents Canada. But,
I
mean, you got
at the same time,
you got Tory Lanez and Party Next Door. I mean, Drake ain't shot nobody in the foot. I mean, The Weeknd, they ain't he from Canada? I mean,
yeah, because Drake all the people Drake stole they flow from.
Exactly, like all 3 of them people are people who Drake pretty much got some hits from. So,
we'll talk about that next week. But
all right.
Mount Rushmore, you say even if he hit 40, 10, and 10, it don't mean nothing.
I mean, you got to give him the credit for it, but
to me, it's kind of like the Peyton Manning thing. Like, he's the greatest regular season player we've ever had. But Peyton Manning, he never, ever lived up to the hype in the playoffs.
Right. So, I mean, could he ever be considered the greatest then?
Stats-wise, he is up there. But that's why I was trying to equate. Does it equate or does it? And LeBron won more than Peyton. Peyton only got 2.
Right.
He got 2 and went 3 times.
But LeBron is never going to be able to shake the
9 losses.
Got a bunch of help and the 9 losses. I mean, he's never going to be able to shake those things because everybody who people want to put him over never lost that much.
Because Kobe was what 5-1.
Yeah.
Mike 6-0.
6-0.
LeBron is what
3-4 or 4-9, 4-10, something like that.
Is he that bad?
It's up there. It's up there.
Damn. He's been 13 times.
He's been a lot of times. I mean, at least 11, right?
He's 3-6.
3-6. So he's been 9 times.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because he only has 3 championships.
Yeah, he won the back-to-back, and then he won the 3-1.
The 3-1.
The Draymond series.
the one I had to be in town for. I actually
Yeah.
had to be in Cleveland for.
That's right. You use 12 miles of walking.
Right, hating life. All in Cavs fans happy
I,
and celebrating shit.
I think I was the person that told you, I'm like, hey, bro, don't you realize what's going to happen tomorrow? You like, bro, they going to lose.
That's why I was like, they're gonna lose. I was fully expecting to get off the plane, hit the bar in the hotel, and just like laugh at some people. We got off the plane in the airport, most of the airport standing around like 2 or 3 TVs. And I'm just looking at that bullshit and I'm like, man, I just want to get back on the plane and just go back.
I mean, you got to witness one of the greatest spectacles in the modern history of Henny Smith.
And that's what's sad, because that is the only time I've ever been in town for any type of NBA championship celebration, and it had to be me being in Cleveland.
What's the odds?
But that's my life though, right? I end up with LeBron on the Lakers. I end up with Tom Brady as a quarterback on the Bucks. Like, I mean, I don't know.
You know what's next, right? A-Rod gonna buy the Braves.
Right. Or fucking Pujols gonna become the first base coach or something crazy like that.
Not even first base. He gonna get traded there to play first base like next year. But if you do that, he'll torture the Cardinals. Like, he'll treat the Cardinals the way he treated the Astros.
Right.
Because I'm not a baseball fan by no means, but when he hit that ball out of, what is that park called?
Minute Maid.
Minute Maid, bro.
But I'm gonna tell you though, have you ever been to Minute Maid? I've been to Minute Maid. I got some pictures of it too that I'll show y'all. That park feels like a high school, like a really large high school park.
Feel like a Texas high school.
Yeah, like it is literally what it feels like. Like, I think there are Texas high school football stadiums that are bigger than Minute Maid Park from the park perspective. The vast majority of the stadium is like the additional activities that you have. Like, nowadays it's all about the jumpy houses, the different things to eat, and all the entertainment while you're there or whatever else. And Minute Maid is full of that stuff. There's tons of cool stuff to do. Like, I would go to the Astros games just to hang out, in that section of Minute Maid instead of actually going to the game. But yeah, I kind of,
it's like going to Topgolf.
Yeah, exactly. It's like kind of a fancier Topgolf. But I really feel like you can have a kickball game in Minute Maid and you can kick some out the ball. Like, it seems like it's that small.
But the fact that he hit that bitch to the train. I haven't been to Minute Maid. I've been to Reliant, where the Texans at.
Yeah.
Now that feels like a damn spaceship.
Yeah.
There's a couple places I've been where it was like, this is huge. Both Kansas City things feel small.
Yeah.
Right? The Cardinal shit, St. Louis shit is small. But the Reliant, the Mavs place was pretty nice.
Yeah. San Francisco, new spot. They new Candlestick, whatever it's called, AT&T Park. It's actually pretty nice. It's kind of crazy though, being that close, like to the water and everything else. But yeah.
Pacers.
Oh yeah, in Indiana, yeah.
Their stadium just goes like that.
Yeah.
Straight slant.
But I mean, that's all that crazy stuff though, because I mean, you being a Colts fan, you've been to the football stadium, right?
I've been to the old one.
Okay.
I haven't been to the new one yet.
It seemed like everything they build in Indiana is like a big ass like train station or something. I don't that design. Like, what's up with that design, right?
Right.
It's a big ass factory.
It's indoor. It feels weird because you like everything is indoor, where every place you go else is outside.
Right.
Like the Mavs basketball kind of got the same setup, but they got that courtyard outside.
Right.
Whereas whatever the Pacers shit, Fieldhouse, it's called. That shit is, like you say, like you do feel like you're going to Union Station somewhere.
Yeah.
We gotta go check out the Colts. Shit, the Colts might get the Bucks next year or somebody.
That'd be interesting.
I mean, Phillip Rivers gonna run us into the ground this year, so our ticket should be cheap.
I'm about to say, y'all kind of already in the ground, though, ain't you? That's how you
Nah,
ended up with Phillip Rivers.
nah, we was teetering around 500, but everybody kept getting hurt. Jacoby Brissett couldn't stay hurt. I mean, couldn't stay off the IR for nothing. And then our running game was shit. We
Right.
never take a chance on a star player. Like they just want that middle of the road, good character guy. Even though our owner was sniffing coke and popping mollies in the parking lot.
He said he's supposed to be the only one.
He walked so we can run, right?
Right. He did that so his players wouldn't have to.
Well, we ain't been on here in a while, so we're gonna say R.I.P. to John Lewis.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Rest in peace to the civil rights OG.
And that's it. Well, Missouri got some new black leadership.
For sure.
Possibly. Still we got to make it to November, but shit looking upward.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty safe district.
You got some parting words?
I don't, man. I don't. Peace out. Peace out.
I thought you was gonna say fuck LeBron.
Not right now. Not right now. We gotta wait. We gotta wait.
You ain't gonna jinx it.
I'm gonna keep that in my pocket.
Bet. Until next time. This the abbreviated homies of the Ball and Buckets crew. That's FCC. I'm Do Rag Dubb. TNT, don't sue me.
Please don't.